さて、音がでかいな。これは単に個人的な記録である。ディスコエリジムを遊ぶ俺の個人的な記憶、ごく個人的な記録だ。前回の続きといこう。まあ前回から少し操作してしまっているのだが、簡単に言えば恐るべき書店の奥のカーテンを開き、その中に眠る忌まわしき札の貼られた扉を開けて中に分け入ったと言ったところ、そうするとこういったなんというかジムだった。かつてジムだった場所。
Yes?
あ、いやいや、あんたの話はもういいんだ。に入りました。砲丸投げの弾。
A barbell lies on the floor. The count is 60 kilograms. Your
60
triceps
kilograms.
hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast. There are no collars on the barbell. Why does it feel so familiar?
なぜこんなにも懐かしく感じる？もはや伝説。俺には無理だ、これは。
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber. The squeak's just a memory from another life. When you were young and fit.
もともと
You're
何だっ
right.
たのだろ
The
う。
weights may fall off.
色
Better
気
not
分ま
touch
だ
it
だ。
then.
バーベルにカラーがついていない。一体どこのバカがわざわざカラーだけ外しやがった。重罪でパーセル。実のところは安全規則なんて
No
どう
one
でもいい
does
ことだと思って
until they get smashed into the barbell.
こいつを持ち上げるような真似はしない。今の俺には不可能と思える挑戦だからだ。古い窓ガラスと瓦礫で廊下が塞がれている。あんた俺に話があるようだな。
It's
君は
dark.
君は言う
And
ま
the
でも
flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand.
全
Right.
くだ。誰でも
Now
わか
let's
るこ
get
と
to
だ。
Some areas are inaccessible.
なるほど。わかったよ。道具、懐中電灯。右手にバールを持ってるの変だわ。これで満足か。そーら先に進むぞ。デミジョン。奇妙な液体で満たされた大きなデミジョン。暗闇の中、野生動物の白菜があなたをじっと見つめている。なかなか、なんというか、いかがわしい場所。蜘蛛の巣に割れた空力艇の回転翼、ナイフを連想させる。おいおい、不気味だな。裸のトルソ、変わった黄色をしている。カーネゲット。手触りが柔らかい青いビロード、虫食いだらけだ。そうだな、気になるものはいくつかあるな。スキー板、ラミネート加工された上面にスリップストリームとプリントされている。よく滑りそうだ。これは何？フィラメントメモリー、制作スケジュールとは一体何のことでございましょう。アイテムを確認。立方体のように交差するフィラメントが手の中で妙に脆く感じる。その複雑な構造は未だに埃をかぶっている。側面に貼ってある銀色のテープに制作スケジュールと書いてある。注意！このフィラメントに記録されている情報はラジオコンピューターで読み取ることができる。記録媒体。砲丸投げの弾。老紳士たちの一番の気晴らしである砲丸投げで使う弾。そうなのか。手放さずに何かに生かした方がいい気がする。これほど美しい古風なスポーツ用具を売るのは罪だ。さようでございますか。スリップストリーム。ここはスポーツ用品店だったのだろうか。おっと、何か。ここはエマのアトリエか。エマって誰だっけ？おっとっとっと、俺の内陸帝国が。だが展示されていた洋服はどこ？何の話をしてるこいつ。俺の知らない話をしているぞ。
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes, like some ancient cave mural.
懐中電灯の光が古い緑色の黒板の上をかすめる。そこには殴り書き、スケッチ、構想などが所狭しと書かれており、さながら古代の洞窟の壁画のようだ。
Some of the writing has faded with
一
age,
部の内容は
but
年
you can
月の
still
経過によ
make
って
out
色あせているが、
sections
今
here
も
and
判読可能なものがそこ
there.
かしこ
Photos
にあ
and
り、写真
drawings
や絵
have
な
been
ども
pinned
ピン
to
で
the
止めら
board.
れている。
These
絵を調べる。
lithe, pointy-eared
しなやかな
creatures
体と
appear
尖った
to be
耳をしたこ
different
の生物
types
は
of
ウェルキンと呼ば
Welkins.
れるらし
You
く、
make out
種類も
autumnal
様々
candle
だ。
Welkins,
初
casting
老のキャンドルウェルキ
white
ンなるも
space
のは、ローに関する関連する魔法を使うらしい。なるほど。さながら、ファンタジーのゲームの
translucent
設定
Welkins
のような。
with
こ
organs
ちらの
shining
半透明ウ
under
ェル
their
キンは
skin.
光る臓器が肌に浮かんで見えているし、
Ether
エーテルウェルキンまでが
hailing
恒
from
星
the
空
vast
間の広大
emptiness
な
of
今日の向こ
sidereal
うから挨
space.
拶
Who
を
are
してい
all
る。
those creatures?
おお、俺の内陸帝国、
Fantasies
こんにち
of a
は。
tortured, feverish mind?
クモンと興奮が混在する精神が生み出したも
You
の
should
でし
adopt
ょう
one
か。
of those Welkins as
あなた
your
様が演じる
persona.
人格の引き出しに、
No
このウ
longer
ェル
a
キンと
mere
やらを
man,
加えておきましょ
but
う。
a
さすれば、
Welkin.
あなた様はただの人間ではなく、ウェルキンにもなれます。
One of the Welkins, towering among
他の
the
ウェルキ
rest,
ンを見下ろす形で
appears
描か
to
れ
be
ているやつ
different,
がいる。
however.
どいつもこいつだ。どうもこいつだけ雰囲気が違う。ウェルキンをよく見てみる。これは
It's
重要な情報。
Vara Hamira, a
バーラ
high
ハミラ、
Welkin.
ハイワウ
His
キン。
face white
色
and
白の顔
scarred
面
like
に多
cracked
数の
marble.
傷があり、
This
まる
is
でひびの
clearly
入った
the
大理石の
Welkin
ように見える。
supremacist.
こいつは明らか
The
にウェ
note
ルキン
says
至上主義者
all
なんだ。メモ
non-Welkin
にはウェル
races
キン
will
なら
be
ざる者、
purged.
粛清すべし
The
と書かれてい
Haldor,
る。
the Twarg,
フルドー
the
ル、ドワ
humans,
ーグ、
and
人
even
間、
headless
首な
men,
し族に至
all
るま
of
で一
them
人残らず
purged.
残らず修
Imagine
正され
a
たら
world
どうなるか。
filled only
ウェルキン
with
だけの世界が出来上がる。
Green
グリーンウ
Welkin,
ェルキンやドレッドウェルキンの上に、ハイウェルキンが立ち全てを支配するんだ。
them all.
まあ、エル
An
フのこと
inordinate
だな
amount。of time has
現
gone
実
into
世界でいう
drawing
と
these
ころの。
little Welkin creatures.
こいつら一体何なのか、聞きたいことは後からこいつらの中に、ウェルキン至上主義者がいるぞ。
Political
政治的
commentary.
な考察だな。
That one has a
あっ
great
ちも随
beard
分立
too.
派な髭を生やしている。
Some people really like building a world, I think, even if it's just for a game. This looks like concept art for a project.
コンセプ
It's
ト
not
ア
really
ート。
real. Just look at those details. So much effort.
The photo
写真を
collage
調べよう。
depicts barren, icy
明
landscapes
けない夜と
wrapped
氷
in
に包まれた
perpetual
不毛の
night.
大地を
You
写した
see
コラージュ写
permafrost
真だ。
and glacial
永久凍土、
landforms,
氷河、
dead trees
雪の中できしむ
growing
枯れ
under
木
the
が撮
snow.
影されてい
Entire
る。
oceans have been
海
frozen
全体が
from
凍り
shore
つ
to
き
shore.
騎士という騎士が静止している。枯渇した戦勝に作られた集落の写真もあるが、川床かな。嵐の中の姿を見る限り人が住んでいる様子はない。他にも暗闇の中で動物の死骸を取ったものがある。死肉と骨の両方を鮮明に写したものだ。
You see primitive oilerings
おお、百科事典お
built
疲れ。
into glaciers.
氷河の中に原始的な石油掘削装置が埋め込まれている。北方のドワーグたちによるものだろう。雪の下にはユルトがあり、巨大なマンモスに似た薬畜の姿
A
もあ
pinned
る。
postcard reads,
あ
The
は
heat death scenario.
ピンで止めた
A
ハガキがこう
desperate
書かれてい
fight
る。
for
熱
geothermal
的
energy
死シナリオに
engulfs
つい
the
て
world.
VRR が太陽から切り離され宇宙にする。
Drifting through the
まあおそらくボー
universe.
ドゲームかカードゲームか何か TRPG を作っていたスタジオのようなところだろう。
This
スケジュー
is
ル
a
を調べ
monthly
よ
calendar from
う。
the
50
year
年、去年か。マーカーで書かれたグリッドのように
Words like
ラストスパート、
Daily Minimi, and
デイリー
GPI
ミニミ、
span the
GPI など
marker-drawn
暗
grid.
号のような言葉が
The
並んでいる。
grand
莫大な
scheme
費用を
of
かけた大掛か
production,
りな
it
制
looks
作
a
のようだ。
bit like an
大学で配られるカレンダーに似ている
Only
な。
much
書かれていることは大学などよりははるかに厳しい
Minimi
が。
stands for
ミニミ
a
はミニミーティングの略だ。なるほど。
It's part of a
ラン
bigger
ステーション
framework for
41と呼ばれる
managing work
作業
called
管理用の大規模なフレームワークの一部として数年前に導入が試みられたが失敗に終わっている。読み続ける。結局どうな
As
ったん
time
だ。
goes on,
時が経つにつれ箱の中に数字が書き込まれる頻度がどんどん少なくなっている。最後の方はもはやまっさらな実現だ。この辺りになるともう失敗と後悔ばかりだったのだろう。残念。
Looks like they didn't
完
make
遂
it.
できなかったんだな。なるほど。キムも同じ結論に達したらしい。極寒なこの表現を見て。表現で合ってるか。
a note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, See the prod schedule. The
メモを
handwriting
調べ
is
よう。
only partly legible.
スローガンが3つ。訪れよ、さらば解放され。ヴィラル・アンテザート。宇宙の熱的死。テキストの全貌はこうだ。宇宙が熱的死を迎えるとき、新たな物語が生まれる。さらにもう一つメモがある。ロールプレイングシステムにおける30年代以来最大の進化に刮目せよ。そいつは完成したら、随分興味深いものになったんだろう。残念だ。宇宙最先端 RPG の開発チーム。高尚な目標ではあるがね。
This appears to be some
一
kind
方
of
体の角
machine
とワイヤー
with
旗
a
をから
cube-shaped heart and a
上下
wired
のボタンがありプリ
framework.
ンターが1枚の紙
Radio
の顔を出してい
computer.
る。ラディオコンピューター
Just
だ。
sitting here
機械の
without
その場
anyone
を旋
inside.
回するあなたは皆気もこともそんな誰もいないところを思ってたのも少し警戒
What
と
he
驚
means
き
is that these things cost
それなりの
money.
金がかかっている
Why
って
would
ことだ
anyone
こんなものをあっさりと
discard
置いていくやつはいない
This is the Ream Civic radio
このラディオコンピューター Red
model
Civic
RC5120
RC5120
equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
We
電
had
源を
one
入れ
of
てみる
these
べき
down
か
at the station, but I never really learned how to.
まあ
The
やってみ
machine
ようぜ
lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber,
再生印刷
revealing fluorescent play and print keys. It's
Compartment
empty
の
like a
中
beehive
で物に
without
味
its
を絡
brood.
め
The
て
filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment. Like a
Say.
smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play keys above
Say.
the fabric, right above the keyboard, starts producing. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed
呪
commercial
われた
era
商業
from
式の
its
幽霊を
rest?
眠りから覚ましてしまったのではないですが、実はこれがそれぞれ切り離された心臓でたった今脈打ち始めたのでしたと。じゃらららら内陸帝国君、君はなかなか無双しがちな性格の
The
ようだ。
static gets louder,
雑音はどんどん大
slowly
きくなり、
filling
荒れ
up
果
the
てた空
abandoned
間、
hall.
広間をゆっ
Until
く
a
りと
voice
満たしてい
speaks
く。
out,
やがて声が
crackling
聞こえる
cold.。
じじじという音とともに空気を伝う。それはどうやら老人の声だ。
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de
シャンギレーヌ通りのフォートレスアクシデント。
Insulindian
東インスリンで第一中継
Please
局。
repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader? Yes. Is that the production schedule?
わからないん
If
だ
you are
正直
unsure,
言って
open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. Good. Please repeat the password. No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder for stress accident.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Still no. Received. I
Don't worry. Pass
Fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Fortress accident is the company on
Fortress
whose name
Accident.
One moment. Fortress accident SCR
プレイヤー参加型のラジオゲームを制作してい
That's
る
not bad.
悪くない。ほう、随分と概念的だな。
Any
で
other
そのインタ
question?
ラクティブなプレイヤー参加型のラジオゲームというのは一体何なんだ。答えてはくれないようだ。あんたは一体何なんだ。機械なのか、それとも生きている人間なのか。
Yes, I am alive. I am 74 years old and my name
Yvonne.
is Yvonne.
Good
She
name.
repeats passwords. Programming people are all paranoid.
変質症の傾向にあるから。なるほど。イボンのあんたがそこにいるのはラジオコンピューターをいじる人間は全員変質症だからと俺の相棒が言ってるんだが
They are merely ghosts.
彼らは単に押し
It's
向かいだけ
my
です。
job to protect their filament. I work as a repeater at the East Indian Repeater. As for me, well, I am sitting
電
in
波
my
の壁に囲
cubicle,
まれた小さな
surrounded
個室に座
now.
っています。
Please tell me if there's anything else I
とりあえ
can
ず以
do.
上だ。
And
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, casting the framework in a soft glow.
印
Nothing
刷をし
happens.
てみよう。何も起こらない。そうか。
The filament
Moridashi
slides
Oko.
out of its glowing nest. Nothing. Something's missing. There's
立ち去ることにしよう。今はパスワードがわからないからね。
this old fireplace is covered
古
in
い暖
large
炉が
drawing
青
in
と
blue
赤の
and
マー
red
カーで描
marker.
かれた線にまみれている滑らかな白肌のように一緒にかかった網が血管のように見えるせいかどっか気味が悪く感じるものの妙に年季が入っているように
The
も
whole
見える
thing resembles
ケトラのモザイク
Kajak
タイルに似ているな
tiles.
ピサンティック色
Very
が強い
pesantic.
ちょっと待ってこれがケドラのモザイクタイルに似てるなんてどうして俺にわかる
History
んだ
classes, students
歴史の
with their
授業だ
textbooks
と
open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those aquarelle blue
俺は今
radio
何を見てる
frequencies,
んだ
it
無線
seems.
周波数
UKV-123.6. Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap. Someone very important, the leader of a massive a conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's free. Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like a list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isola. There's no way a little...
My God. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. The schedule. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
Nothing. It's just lines on marble.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace? Yes, that is the question.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people...
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad.
Not in Revel.
But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an inter-isolary game before. With through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Then there's the Game Master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think
coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided.
Indeed, those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a...
Super cool. Someone
Super
should give
cool.
them millions of real immediately. This game is too
本当
good
に
to
俺
be
もそう
left
思うよ。
unfinished.
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious
Great.
and untethered from reality, but... It's too late for that, I'm afraid. Okay.
なかなか興味深かったよ。あ、出ちゃった。ちょっと待って。まだ出たくないのよ。なかなか興味深いものがありますなあ。さあ、まだまだ続くぞ。東京影の雪の中の靴、床板がきし。絵はがきか。
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes. For this must be where the... What an odd thing to do. Still nothing. Those curtains prove to be surprisingly... If this is really an entrance to the chimney, then there must be a furnace somewhere.
Can you please try to refrain from attacking random things? Thanks. In any case, there's no way we can get in right now.
Oh, レベルアップできるじゃんね。そうやなあ。権威だ。暖炉といえば。
This old fireplace, the whole thing resembles Kadran.
結局のところ。
Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here.
事業の最概念化を実
Look,
施したよ。
the
意味がわ
skis
かん
and
ない
rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit. That's a good question. reality.
Reality is なんとかって言ったんだろうな。足りんな。残念ながらこれだけがもう7時42分だしな。なんだっけ、何を探そうとしてたんだ。
As before, an iron safety curtain curves before.
煙突どこかから入れる。
Your flashlight, some of the writing has... Tiles on the cube are still smoldering, like a smooth the speaker.
Good evening. Please repeat. It's good. Please proceed.
Don't worry.
Fortress, thank you.
Tiles on the cube, the filament slides out of...
出ることにしよう。見れるものは見た。おいおい。上の石炭落としから風の鳴り声が聞こえる。なんだこれ。
You see a terrifying ice bear. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it text? The lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found...
Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge.
変な冷蔵庫。
Let's take a look inside.
The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with the brand name. You pocket the note and the little fridge magnets, keeping it on the... A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you. From the paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate.
Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. I know. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money.
The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this... A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those There is, yes. And there also appears to be something...
Your hand reaches deep into darkness and spiderwebs. Rummaging around, you find...
Are these any good?
Most of them are rusty and inoperable, like the... Take it. You're a police officer.
That's a rare sight. Seems to no longer be functional, but still a beautiful thing in its own way. It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still...
He likes this find.
俺も気に入ったよ。
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby. An electric sizzle. The room is slightly quieter now. Something close to you.
Why did you do that?
The lieutenant raises his brows.
ちのシャツよりはマシだろうな。クレイジーではあるが。
A thick layer of coal dust covered. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Looks like it. Looks like an old son. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent.
It's dark and grimy here, and the echo is so prominent.
What are you doing? Wait, really? Maybe it's coming from behind those safety curtains we saw upstairs.
A lush layer of coal. Now, maybe you could paint something with this coal. Leave a cave painting for future
You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected.
Always has to be the skeptic, this man. A hollow ring echoes through the furnace. Your toe hurts.
Stop.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty...
Central
You've
boiler.
awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come.
You hear a low rumble.
After you, officer.
ああ、蹴らなきゃなよかった。本当に。
The bear's eyes are dead and empty.
さて、いよいよご対面だ。開いてる。何者？ダイス。
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. So what kind of die?
Could this be the malicious entity? She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way rate. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you find I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system.
Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
Answers? How strange. These days people only come to me for dice, and I'm not sure how helpful I'll be.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are no falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice.
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some not especially. I like working with rare materials.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. A star that fell from the firmament? Those cost more than 7 real. Are you sure? Yes, you definitely have the proper attitude. How about a pair of
Pieces of lodestone were used.
10 real, and I can get these ready in 8 hours. It's true, magnetic dice are definitely different. When rolled together, the magnetic fields of the pips. Maybe you have some other ideas for dice? What do you mean by cursed? All right, how about I surprise you? Come back, maybe you have some other ideas. I think I have just the right one.
Police colors.
Not the most original, I know. But sometimes they're... Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
Mr. Smooth Moves.
Mr. Nice Catch 降臨。おい、なんでここで俺6ゾロ出しちゃうんだよ。
Oh, what are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone.
She winked back at you. Can you believe it?
You'll definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else? Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about the dead body? We might be dealing with... The lieutenant looks.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard.
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily rush. It's an odd profession, making dice for people. Well, there's always something going on in the world. During daytime, there are usually those kids.
She's heard of the murder, but...
But I never saw anyone during that fateful Sunday night, I'm afraid. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I...
Plaisance was right.
Creative.
Creative.
When she arrived here, there was no room anywhere else. She must have known the other businesses.
I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. It's just capitalism. We only hear about tales of success, so it's over. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energy spared her somehow? All right, but it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East of the Commerce Central project. And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty.
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
What, so the curse only affects people with poor work?
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
Exactly. But I'm glad we got this sorted out.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful, as far as we can see.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific? Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They were in the...
A bit of experimenting every... It's not about the haircut. It's about the confidence.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet. It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's boxing club. A community project, a kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym. Kuno. Who's Kuno? Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yeah, I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even. Eventually, the coalition took away the... Oh, this one's a mess. Turns out, the business was actually set up as... And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real...
Nothing changes in her tone as she says...
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-Roses. This...
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. You mean Mr. Fabron? Anything else? They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula, or the usual, I imagine. But he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't...
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is here. I have no idea why those kids...
Maybe you could make a sword out of one. No, wait, forget it.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Really? Anyway. Fortress Accident, the radio game studio. They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems.
That's understandable.
They certainly took their work very seriously. The usual, they ran out of money. Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historic.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about it. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important.
And so is producing something extraordinary. Anything else? Oh boy, the fabled Revo Show ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about...
Indeed. What were the other ideas?
There was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the... And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Fritta does the same thing.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. And they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile ape. Eventually, Ravishell ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. You did what? Ugh, of course they left it plugged in. The taxidermist who made it said it was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while...
Sounds cool. Why is everyone doing drugs in this place?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Understandable. You shouldn't do them. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen. Anything else? Another failed business Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta Commerce.
If the Whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune
Right. It used to be a gaming arcade. My advice, don't base your business on a fad. Hypnotism.
Agreed. Pinball is the worst.
It can't be true. They don't work here. Are you sure it was Slipstream SEA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Playsound. Tricentennial Electric. It used to be a major electric...
No. It was too real to be just... Whatever happened, keep your cool. It's probably better to admit that it was a harmless prank.
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity. Why would Slipstream SEA have a 100-year-old record? I'm still convinced it...
My money is on electrical anomaly. I've heard of these, especially in an old building like this.
Sure, I'm listening. I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure. What do you want to know? Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
This old fireplace, the whole thing resembles... The note is written...
Does it say anything in...
This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's... Someone has scribbled. S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home, ASAP. It's important. I'd do it myself if I lived in a civilized...
Looks like someone from that radio game company upstairs. That's a plausible hypothesis. Looks like someone from that radio game... That's implausible. Looks like someone...
The lieutenant nods.
It belongs inside a radio computer, storing its mem...
It's like the production schedule you found.
Really? You don't have a single guess? Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on the filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed, based on our encounter. I don't know.
Didn't you see one right next... This orange machine is dead still. It has a hand-cranked ice cream churner, and turning the crank feels oddly set. It's all gone now. You'll never become a poet or an entrepreneur.
よくよく探索したものだ。なるほど。ああ、もう寝るとしよう。まだ気になることはいくつもあるけど。眠いしね。お疲れー。